Hello, Raw Food Rehabbers. It's Tuesday, February the 2nd, Groundhog Day. Apparently, Phil, the groundhog, saw his shadow this morning, and that means we have 6 more weeks left of winter here in the Northern Hemisphere. And you know, in my life, the memory of Groundhog's Day, I don't really remember Phil not seeing his shadow, or whatever the groundhog happened to be, whatever his name was. I don't think Phil's been around for 44 years, but I mean, I think there's always 6 weeks left of winter at this stage of the game, so I just always kind of laugh. But, you know, Groundhog Day, you gotta love it. And the first thing when I woke up this morning, besides hearing about Phil seeing his shadow, was I went to the website like I always do, and one of the first posts that I looked at was a comment that Jenna, who is co-facilitating our February cleanse posse with me, she had put up this comment on the thread of the February week 1 cleanse, and she had these 2 pictures of the surfers, which I just immediately was like, I don't know what, it just resonated with me. I snatched her pictures, threw them on the front page of our website, and just started kind of looking at that story unfolding. And if you haven't already looked at the main page and those pictures, go check those out. Stop this and go check it out and come back. But my husband came in and was talking to me, and he asked me what I was going to talk about today, and I said, well, we're going to talk about hanging 10 today. And, you know, he told me the definition of what hanging 10 means. Now, how he knows, I have no idea, but I am impressed. He knew what hanging 10, the actual definition, was. And so I looked it up, and I have to read this to you because it really makes me think about each one of us and finding that sweet spot, finding the flow, as we talked about yesterday, in our health and weight journeys. And so I'm just going to read it to you. There isn't much that can compare to gliding across the face of a wave with water spitting at your face as you perfectly are balanced on the nose of your surfboard. Hanging 10 is also one of the most difficult moves in longboarding, requiring balance, coordination, and sometimes just a little bit of faith. What you'll want to do is wait for a good wave, ideally one that isn't too steep or too big and peels, which means it breaks away nicely. The size of the wave you ride should depend on how confident you are in your surfing ability. Start smaller as your confidence increases. Work your way into the larger waves. It might help to curl your toes over the nose of the board to give you a better grip and to make you feel more secure. This one small movement will take a good amount of practice. And you're going to wipe out a lot. So don't worry though, it can be done. People do it all the time. Experiment with different positions until you feel balanced and comfortable. So isn't that the way it is with our raw food journey? I mean, how many of you all have wiped out a few times along the road? It says that while you're trying to hang 10, you're going to wipe out a lot. But get back on the board and keep trying. I mean, I think that's just such a great, positive, uplifting message for the day, especially those of us who are embarking on this 28-day cleanse. I mean, there's a whole group of us that are juice feasting for the first time. Many people are doing it for the first time, and they're having to kind of figure out, first of all, I just made this concoction and it tastes like bleh. And then there's other people that are going, you know, you said that we need to drink like a gallon of juice every day. There's no way I can drink that much juice. And so really what you have to do is kind of practice, practice what's going to work best for you. And I said that in yesterday's thread. This journey is not about perfection, and I am not the raw food police, and I'm not here to beat you up or tell you that you're doing anything wrong. I mean, every day that you wake up, and if you set your intentions and your desire to make it a better day, and you might not get it right, you might not get it perfectly, but I would just want to say stop beating yourself up if that's you, if that's what you're doing. Just get back on the board and practice hanging 10. I mean, that's really what we all want to do. We all want to reach that point where we feel alive. And I have to tell you, I'm having my Pure Vitality. This recipe is actually in Raw Food Cleanse, and it is so good. I mean, I'm loving this juice feast because I'm not hungry, because I really do the juice like every 3 to 4 hours. I'm drinking what I can. And I'm just, you know, if I feel a twinge of weirdness, I wouldn't even call it hunger, but it's just sort of that nagging feeling like, I need something. I need something in my mouth. I'll make some herbal tea, or actually this afternoon I'm getting ready to make some almond milk, and I make this little herbal, it's like a tea latte. And I know that almond milk is not necessarily the protocol on the juicefeasting.com website, but in my opinion it's liquid, and I know that it's something that will be really satisfying and warm, since it's, you know, it's still really cold here in Tulsa. So that's just kind of one of the things I'm planning this afternoon. If I get into a challenging moment where I feel the need for something, and maybe I don't want to go in and spend all the time making another juice, I'm going to just have a little tea latte. And and I did it yesterday, and it made me feel so much better. So there's a lot of you guys that are really focusing in this month of February on taking care of yourself. And that means a lot of things to a lot of you. You're doing different things. Some of you guys are just really focused on eating more raw food than you've been eating, incorporating more of that into your lifestyle. So wherever you are on your journey, I just want to encourage you today. It's not about perfection. It's about practice. So I'd love to hear from you. How are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, yesterday you told me some of the things that you're going to do to help yourself and to love yourself more this month. And I'd like to kind of keep that discussion going. Actually, I didn't have just a whole lot of people respond to that. So it's one of those questions that you might have to think about a little bit. But I'd love to hear from you today. Let me know what you're doing and how you're doing. Here we are in the 4th week of our initiative. And this is the time, you know, around like 2.5 to 4 or 5 weeks where people can waver sometimes. Let us support you. Don't be a stranger. Give us a holler. I'll see you tomorrow.